We talked a little bit about hydration and specifically sodium and salty snacks. This is a great time to talk about just staying hydrated throughout the day. This is a big one. You don't want to get dehydrated during camp. It's not only impacts your performance, but it can really impact your health. Hey, athletes, and welcome back to the High School Athlete Nutrition Podcast, where we are talking all things fueling to help you stay energized, improve your performance, and overall just be a stronger, more competitive athlete. I'm Stephanie, your sports dietitian and nutrition coach, and today we are talking about fueling for summer camps. So all of the athletes I talk to, or most of the athletes I talk to, are heading to some sort of camp this summer, whether it's a college ID camp or just a club camp or preseason camp. You have a lot going on. And if you're not going to camp, there's going to be preseason at the end of the summer, typically for fall sports, where you're going to have back-to-back practices, either longer sessions during the day or maybe a morning session and an evening session. Regardless of what you have coming up, fueling really matters. It can make a big difference in your endurance, your power, your strength. And when you're looking for a roster spot or a starting position, it's really important that you're showing well for all of these coaches, especially if they're new to you and you don't know them. So let's break down what to eat, when to eat, and how to hydrate before, during, and after camps. Honestly, summer camps are no joke. You are training all day long. So you typically get there really early. You're leaving somewhere in the late afternoon. You're sweating all day. You're moving a lot more than you usually do. And you're just playing in high heat and high humidity environments. So that means that you need more fluids, more energy, and a really strong recovery plan. Skipping meals at this point is never an option for an athlete, but really not a good idea. It can lead to underfueling, which increases your injury risk, can lead to early fatigue, cramps, slower reaction times, and overall, you're just not going to be getting the most out of your camps if you're exhausted. You're just kind of wasting time, which is not what we want to do. We want you to use these camps to make yourself a stronger athlete. So let's start at the beginning of the day with breakfast. This is going to really tee you up for a strong start to camp. And I know how hard it can be, especially if you have an 8 o'clock or a 9 o'clock, or even some of the camps start at 7. If you have a really early start time, it can be hard to get that full breakfast in before you head to camp. But it is crucial that you're eating something because you don't want to start the day behind and really start draining your energy battery from the moment you get there. You want to make sure you're filling up that battery as much as possible throughout the day so you don't bonk halfway through the day. So breakfast ideally is a solid mix of mostly carbohydrates with a little bit of protein. This is going to be really important if you only have a little bit of time to eat breakfast before you head out the door for camp. We're going to focus on mostly carbs because that's that quick energy, but also mostly carbs because they're easily digested, meaning that they're not going to hang out in your stomach for too long and make you feel uncomfortable when you're starting warm-ups or getting ready to go to camp. So when we think about mostly carbohydrates, it could be something like oatmeal with banana and peanut butter, or maybe a bagel with sunflower butter, banana, and honey. Or if you're comfortable eating a yogurt bowl with granola and berries, that's awesome. But leaning more into the carbohydrate-based things like bagels and toast and oatmeal will help you really quickly digest and just support your stomach so you're not feeling uncomfortable when you get to the start of camp. But if you have more time in the morning, like 2+ hours to digest, that's a great time to really boost that protein content of breakfast. So maybe instead of a bagel with peanut butter, you're doing a bagel with eggs, or a breakfast burrito. So a wrap with eggs and avocado and cheese in there. You're really elevating that fat and protein content because you have more time to digest. But if you're waking up, eating breakfast and running out the door, mostly carbs with a touch of protein, like a bagel with peanut butter, is a really great option. So we know camp days are long, and snacks are going to be your secret weapon to keep your energy levels up. So we want to keep them simple, easily accessible, and really quick to eat. I'm not expecting you to open up a turkey sandwich in the middle of the field or in the middle of the court. We want to make sure that you're energizing your body, but you're able to do it quickly. So we do this with carbohydrate-focused snacks. We want enough to just boost your energy and keep picking up your energy so it's not continuously dropping throughout the day. We want little energy boosts throughout the day, and that's where snacks really come in handy. So for a full day camp, ideally you're packing 3 to 6 different types of snacks. I say sometimes more because you might pack pretzels, then you get there and like, I really just don't want pretzels. I wanted my fruit snacks. And so having options throughout the day will encourage you to have those snacks. So simple carbohydrate snacks could be something like pretzels, fruit snacks, fruit leather with those fruit strips. applesauce pouches are really easy because you can just, at a water break, pop it off, quickly take it. And now you have that quick fuel. You can also do things like granola bars or fig bars for times when you have a little bit of a longer break, maybe like a 5 to 10 minute break. You have more time to chew and get that carbohydrate in. But we're really honing in on lots of carbohydrate snacks here because, again, we have to keep that energy really, really high. We don't want to add a protein bar or anything really high in protein now because it just takes too long to digest, and that energy won't get to your system by the time you need it. And you might feel a little bit too full when you get back to the field. So we're sensing a trend. Lots of carbohydrates, limiting protein and fat right before and during training, but lunch is that solid opportunity to get a lot more protein in. So lunch is typically halfway-ish through camp, and that's when your energy might be dipping a little bit more. And we want to make sure this lunch is a powerhouse of fuel. So your foundation or center of the plate should be like a wrap or a sandwich, something that has a little bit more carbs and protein to it. So a turkey sandwich, chicken salad, tuna. If you're not a sandwich or a wrap person, think about doing like roast beef and cheese roll-ups, or maybe chicken salad and crackers. Having that protein carb combo is really going to help you recover and then push through the end of the day. So you have your center of your plate or your core entree, if you say, for lunch. Then we want to add on several sides. We want a couple of sides that are hydrating. So maybe watermelon or carrots and hummus. We're thinking about a little bit of color to add on some hydration. So yes, you can eat your hydration too. And then you want some electrolyte sources or salty snacks. So thinking about things like goldfish, pretzels, crackers, or a lot of my clients lately have been talking about Cheez-Its. But you're thinking about a little bit more salty or even salted nuts, right? You're just getting a little bit of that sodium back in because you probably sweat out a ton earlier in the day. So we're adding that carbohydrate, we're adding that hydration, that protein, and that salt. And then the 2 or 3 other snacks that you pack are just for fun. So maybe you want a drinkable yogurt, maybe you want another granola bar or an applesauce or trail mix or a little cookie, but you're just packing things that are going to give you energy and give you fuel, but things you also really enjoy. So you want your center of your plate, your hydrating snack, your salty snack, and then 1 to 2 other snacks that will help just keep you energized and fueled for the rest of the day. Focusing on lots of carbs, a little bit of protein, and good amount of consistent snacks is going to really help you power through and do your best at camp so that you're able to focus, pick up new skills that you can apply for the rest of the year. We talked a little bit about hydration and specifically sodium and salty snacks. This is a great time to talk about just staying hydrated throughout the day. This is a big one. You don't want to get dehydrated during camp. It's not only impacts your performance, but it can really impact your health. So if you feel that you're getting really thirsty or getting dizzy, uncomfortable, it's really important, no matter what you're doing, stop, go get some water, go get some electrolytes, whether it's a sports drink or an electrolyte powder. We have to focus on rehydration. If you are really dizzy and really uncomfortable, it's probably important to sit out for the rest of the day. So this is where if we prevent you from getting dehydrated, you can really take advantage of that full day at camp. Hydration ideally starts the day before. So if your camp starts on a Monday, Sunday, you are really paying attention to your hydration because we don't want you to start camp dehydrated. So what does that look like? The day before, you're just regularly sipping on your water bottle, keeping it close. That's my number 1 tip for staying hydrated is your water bottle should always be close by. That will really allow you to stay focused and say, okay, I need a few sips, and just sipping throughout the day will help you stay more hydrated. But the morning of camp, say it's Monday when your camp starts, this is where when you wake up for breakfast, you want to have at least 12 to 16 ounces or 1.5 to 2 cups of water, juice, or a sports drink. Just some hydration to kick off your morning. Again, you slept the whole night, didn't really drink anything. You're dehydrated. We want to get you quickly rehydrated before you get back out in the heat. During camp, having a water break every 15 to 20 minutes or so is really important, especially if it's hot. I have some athletes that'll talk to me about their camps, and they pretty much have open access. So anytime they want a water break or they can just run and grab what they need, there's a water station. Where some have really set breaks throughout the day where you're not really supposed to leave the activity that you're doing. It's important that you're taking those breaks. If you're thirsty and you really need the hydration, go get it. Your safety and your performance are the most important. And so go get a few sips of water. So it's a great opportunity to, again, add in some of those electrolytes. So especially if you're out in the heat all day and not in like an air conditioned space for camp, make sure you're grabbing some electrolytes at least every other water break, ideally every water break if you can. So you can take a couple sips of water and a couple sips of a Gatorade, a Powerade, or an electrolyte mix. That will really help you replace all that salt that you're sweating out and will help you perform better the rest of the day. And then we have after camp. So right after camp, we have to get on the hydration game again, because guess what? You're going back to camp the next day. And so we don't have a minute to waste. So after camp, again, you're consistently sipping that water all day long, and also including things with meals that will help you stay hydrated. So having fruits and vegetables, maybe having a juice or a chocolate milk with meals will not only help you add fluids back in, but will give you some good protein and some good carbohydrates. So thinking outside of water, looking at fruits and veggies, electrolyte drinks and sports drinks, as well as lemonade, juice, and chocolate milk are great hydration jumping points. You don't have to focus on just water. There's lots of variety there. But a good rule of thumb that I want you to remember if you're thinking about how can you stay hydrated or how do you know if you're hydrated, I want you to look at the toilet. Hear me out. If you're looking at the color of your pee, that will help to let you know if you're drinking enough, if you're drinking too much, or if you're spot on. So if your pee is like a dark apple juice color, you're dehydrated. We want to elevate your hydration, which means more fluids and a little bit more salt or salty foods or an electrolyte. If your urine is clear, you're overhydrated. We want to take a step back. You don't need to drink quite as much. The color we're really looking for is like lemonade or a light lemonade color. That's spot on. That means that what you're doing is really working for your hydration. You want to keep that up and try to do the same thing throughout camp, because that will really make sure that your brain and your muscles are ready to go all camp long. And that's the main goal, is making sure that you have energy all day long, all week long, and you want to keep things going. Those main two focuses are going to be carbs to refuel and keep your energy going, and protein to help repair and rebuild that muscle that you're breaking down and, really strengthening every day. And those two things you want to look at are that carb and that protein. And so recovery, or what you're eating after camp, is also going to be a big priority, because it helps you recover from what you just did, but then also get ready for that next day. So right after camp, you're going home, you're exhausted, you might want to lay down and shower. I'm going to challenge you to have a snack. Before you get home, before you have dinner, on the way home in the car, ideally, have a chocolate milk or a chocolate soy milk with a banana or some fruit. This will really help to quickly start that recovery process, ASAP. We're playing back to back. By the end of the week, your energy is going to be drained. We want to keep that energy really high. So like chocolate milk has the perfect ratio of carbs to protein, with the bonus of fluids, electrolytes, and calcium and vitamin D. It really is a win-win all the way around. So if you're someone who's allergic to dairy or lactose intolerant, maybe try a chocolate soy milk. But regardless, it's something great to have on the ride home. So you start your recovery, you can breathe, take a break, shower, and then roll into dinner. Lastly, here are a few of my quick tips for camp day. Number one, don't try anything new. Stick to what you know. So if you normally have applesauce as your snack before practice, that's what you want to bring to camp for that day. Or if you're someone who does fruit snacks or a granola bar, stick to what you know. You never want to try something new and then get to camp and not feel good for the rest of the day, or have a new snack in the middle of camp and not feel great. Try those things out on a single practice when it's only an hour. Don't try something new out on a day where you have to spend the whole day there and you really can't go home. So make sure you stick to the things that you already know that your body can tolerate and does well. Speaking of snacks, pack them the night before. The morning of camp, you are trying to get out the door, you're trying to get breakfast in, there's just a lot going on. Make sure you're refilling water bottles, getting your electrolytes together, packing some snacks, getting as much of your lunch together as you can so that your morning is as smooth as possible. And then when you're at camp, listen to your body. If you're dizzy, if you're getting cramps, this is a sign we have to add more fuel in, focus on hydration, take a break for a minute. Maybe it's getting too hot. Listen to your body, refuel, rehydrate, and then you can get back out there if it's safe. And lastly, I know you're excited for camp, but get some sleep. You're working really hard in the field, and sleep is when your body resets, rebuilds, renourishes. And so make sure you're getting to bed early, because you're waking up early and getting ready for camp. You need those solid hours of sleep. If you're heading into camp this summer, please take the tips of this episode with you. I want you to think about packing snacks, having a strong lunch, make sure you're staying hydrated, and most of all, eat your breakfast. It starts your day off strong. And if you're looking for more snack ideas, fueling plans, videos, and just overall nutrition resources, I invite you to check out the Academy. This is your online hub where you have 24/7 access to all of this great information to help you stay fueled and energized. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review. I love seeing your feedback on what episodes you want to learn about or what you want to hear about. And I really love supporting you as you take your game to the next level. Until next time, athletes, happy fueling.